Hi everyone, my name is Marc Chapman and this is my final presentation. So the three biggest takeaways from this course involve gamification, the future of education, and interaction in education. So for gamification, it is the introduction of gameplay to a non-game environment. I had some preconceived notions about this before entering in this course. Now I think gamification does more harm than good when it's used inappropriately. School is basically where you learn. School is where you get new information on new concepts, and all gamification does is reinforce concepts, not introduce them. I think the potential of technology in education really is the future. It allows students to learn from a distance, and it introduces subscription learning, which is cheaper than a lot of other methods. Educational technology paved the way for new scoring systems, performance being graded, and it changes the game rather than just being graded on tests and assignments. Education is also impossible without students interacting with each other. Many students need interaction to fuel their drive, and especially when COVID-19 hit, I know I was among these students who are impacted in the classroom, and they struggled interacting with their peers. Students need interactions to develop their speech skills and conversation skills inside of a classroom, and it teaches them how to behave differently, which is really important, especially for the younger crowd who needs to be modeled, who needs behavior to be modeled. There are two commitments I have throughout taking this course as well. The first thing is that I want my students to interact and build relationships with each other, as well as building a relationship with me as their teacher. So, students need to build relationships with each other. Classroom grades for me is going to be working well together. Students are going to be placed in tables of 4, and that's going to be their group. And these groups will be interchanged throughout the year just so people can make new friends and build new relationships. All these relationships will, in fact, come back to mine. I want all of my students to feel that they can trust me and have a good relationship with me, especially as their teacher. I want my students to not be afraid to talk to me about certain issues, and I definitely want to be a role model for all the students in my classroom. Students will also have equal access for homework, which will be passed out in class and not online. So this is a topic I really enjoy. I think equal access is a huge issue in our classroom, but this equal access for homework is the big issue for me. A lot of teachers assign homework online, and I think homework needs to be given out as a paper assignment where everyone can have the same opportunity to access it, turn it in, and not only is there an actual physical file of this, but students don't need to worry about leaving their laptops at home or turning in the wrong type of format for a file. This really, steps into my topic of interest. I really think equality of opportunity and equality of access is something I really want to explore. I want to learn how to improve this quality of access for my students. A lot of teachers, and this especially goes back to when COVID-19 was a huge issue, a lot of teachers relied on just giving out simple assignments for high school students. Now, the issue with that was at this time, I was fortunate enough to have a laptop and to have a PC at my mom's house. But the issue was I had nothing to work on when I was at my dad's house. And this brought in that equality of opportunity because a lot of students might not have the same access to technology. I know that I didn't have that access at my father's house, and I thought how many students could have this just in general. Computers and technology is extremely expensive, and when you run education through technology, especially when there's so many people who barely get by, you have to really think, are you doing these students a favor, or are you basically just crushing their hopes and dreams? Not being blunt about, or not trying to be super blunt about that, but essentially we need to prove the equality of access and make sure every student has the same opportunities, because this is our future generation. And while technology is improving every single day, our students' learning needs to be the number one thing that we focus on, where every student has an opportunity to excel and become great. Thank you.